And the one place that folks are saying keep an eye out for is Miami. And if the Dolphins cannot somehow, if they get somehow, some way, a doctor's report, a piece of information from a medical evaluation of Tua that he may not be ready to go, and suddenly there's Tom Brady sitting in Florida where his family is located and where he can easily locate himself.
Oh boy, I got a hot one to show you tonight, but I have to warn you, this is seriously gonna piss off some people. Let me set the stage for you. There's been a lot of innuendo, rumors, tweets, comments, videos, you name it. There's been a lot of it in regards to Tua Tagovailoa being the QB1 of the Miami Dolphins. Yes, Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel sought to reaffirm everybody that Tua Tagovailoa was indeed QB1 in January. But since that day, sports journals have been all over the place, and we the fans have been caught in a whirlwind ever since. Local journos and national journos have been split in their coverage. Will Tua be QB1? Will Tua not be QB1? I don't think anybody really knows what's going on right now. Some say the Dolphins are indeed shopping. Others are adamant that the Dolphins are set. Listen to Ian Rappaport on the Pat McAfee show just this afternoon.
Okay, so let's move along. Let's talk about Jimmy G. He's going to the Raiders or the Dolphins. I've heard the Dolphins now, they're shopping. They're looking for a quarterback. Are they looking for a young quarterback with the whole Tua's not fifth-year option, not picked up, and Josina Anderson's report that her sources are saying they're exploring all options at quarterback. Obviously, we all have massive respect for Josina, but is there a chance Josina's, or not Josina, is there?
Okay, so a couple days ago, Josina Anderson said that everything was in play. People flamed her. People on both sides were like, she's right, she's wrong. That's what I'm saying. This stuff is changing so fast. So let's hear how Ian Rappaport addresses it.
Chance Garoppolo is back with McDaniels. McDaniel or McDaniels. Is that how this is kind of looking for Jimmy G in the future?
I would be a little surprised, not doubting anyone's information, would not want to make Josina mad. I would be a little surprised if the Dolphins were shopping for a starting quarterback. I would expect them to add to the quarterback room. I would be surprised, based on what I know, if they were looking for anyone besides Tua to be their starter. You know, the fifth-year option is one thing. Daniel Jones got his fifth-year option declined, and the Giants are still working on a long-term deal that would pay him a lot of money, probably something that starts with a 4. So fifth-year option is a business decision, but I expect Tua to be their starter.
Pretty definitive, right? He left no doubt. Tua will be QB1 for the Miami Dolphins. People today were tweeting all over the place that was confirmation. It's over. No more rumors. It's set in stone. Tua is QB1, but not so fast. Here's what Rich Eisen had to say late this afternoon.
There's only one way I know how to do things here, and that is to not traffic in rumor. I try to give you facts as best I can, and opinions and takes. But I also want to give you a sense of what it's like to be at the NFL Scouting Combine. When I say there's tea and it is spilled, it really makes the Boston Tea Party look like it was just one little pinky extended with one saucer. There is...
Okay, so yeah, there is a lot of tea being spilled all over the place, and it depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on. It's either horrible tasting tea or some really good sweet home southern tea. Either way, the tea is being spilled. Let's continue.
More tea spilled at the Combine, and people are so eager to do it. It's nonstop talk. You see them at the Combine, you see them in restaurants, you see them at the bar, you see them at midnight, you see them all over the place. A little coffee, a little this. You got a breakfast, you got a dinner. I mean, everyone is everywhere, and it's spilled.
Now understand, Rich Eisen is a broadcast network announcer for the NFL Network. So he was in the middle of everything during the NFL Combine. He was talking to general managers. He was probably talking to owners. He was probably talking to head coaches. So he was right there, hearing it all over the place.
And I compiled a list of things that I heard for a top 5 list of rumors I've heard at the Combine. and I want to let you know before I get to it, that what I put on this list, I heard from multiple people, which is why they're on the list.
Now that's important. This wasn't just one person whispering in his ear. This was multiple people saying the same thing over and over. Is Rich Eisen a liar? I'm not going to call Rich Eisen a liar. I'm sure some of you will. Some of you think he's a Jets fan and he's probably just making stuff up. But he's putting a lot of his credibility on the line here. He's on the Roku network. He's got a show that broadcasts 5 days a week. And he's telling you what he heard as an announcer and host for the NFL network.
Okay.
You get double sources.
Of people just whispering, and I have no idea
Double whisper.
if any of this is 100% factual, which is what I like to say normally into this microphone. I feel like I've got my journalism degree now covered with me giving this long-winded caveat.
So if Rich Eisen, who is knee-deep into the NFL network, who's there at the NFL Combine, who has access to everybody, if he can't determine what the hell is going on with Tua Tagovailoa, how can anybody do it? Nobody seems to know what the hell is going on. Let's get back to it.
Trafficking in rumor, but I'm going to dive into the mosh pit to give you an idea of the stuff that I heard in Indianapolis.
You're like Varys. The birdies are just talking.
Correct. Hit it. My top 5 rumors I heard at the 2023 Scouting Combine.
Just made the list.
Here we go. Number 1, I heard from a couple people, and I figured let me make it number 1 because it involves the GOAT. Number 1 rumor I heard at the Combine, not in terms of a lot of yacht chatter, but this one just blew my mind. Tom Brady may not be done after all.
What?
It's a couple people are like, just hang on, just you wait.
Wait for
And I'm
what?
like,
What are we waiting for?
I'm like, he's Instagramming out videos of his cat.
Ski
know?
trips.
Yeah.
He was at UFC.
This story has grown more tentacles than a 10-legged octopus. Now we got Brady back in the mix, supposedly, allegedly. The talk at the NFL Combine is that Brady is contemplating a comeback. I at this point, I have no idea what's going on.
I know. But it doesn't look like he's getting big and fat, does it? And that he's just let it play out. Let's see who wants what. And the one place that folks are saying keep an eye out for is Miami. And if the Dolphins cannot somehow, if they get somehow, some way, a doctor's report, a piece of information from a medical evaluation of Tua.
Now that threw me. That threw me for a complete loop. Has he not been fully cleared yet by a doctor? Why would he mention that as one of the criteria? That if they get a report from a medical doctor, he didn't say if Tom Brady wants to come back, would they entertain it? He didn't say, bring him in and sign him as a free agent. He didn't say anything. He went to the medical reports, which leads me to believe that, has he been cleared? Has he been cleared by his doctors, the team doctors, the league? Has he been cleared to go back and begin doing football activities? We understand he's training from the guy Nick Hicks. We understand he's doing some jiu-jitsu, but is he doing football related activities, throwing the ball, getting out there on the field with the guys? I don't know. I found it odd that they were talking about the medical condition at the NFL Combine. Let's continue.
That he may not be ready to go, and suddenly there's Tom Brady sitting in Florida where his family is located and where he can easily locate himself. Keep an eye on that, I was told by a couple of birdies
Good.
at the Combine. How's that for a top 5 list?
That's a top 5 bombshell. And I'm sure I'm going to get flamed for even showing this video, but I got to believe that Rich Eisen is somewhat credible, being that he was there during the NFL Combine, mixing it up, elbow to elbow, with head coaches, GMs, owners. Something is definitely up. There's no way this guy went on the air and said that today, this afternoon, late this afternoon, without there being some degree of chatter going on about Tom Brady coming back out of retirement again and going to play for the Miami Dolphins. I think there's only one thing right now that's really going on, and that's that we have to agree that none of us knows what's really going on with the Miami Dolphins and what they're looking to do with Tua Tagovailoa. Nobody knows. Anyone telling you otherwise is simply lying to you. Don't come at me with your Tua-hating accusations. These are two conflicting reports, one by Ian Rappaport, one by Rich Eisen, and it's been consistent throughout the last couple of months. One guy would say Tua is definitely going to be QB1. Another person said they're trading for Lamar or doing something with Aaron Rodgers or doing something with Tom Brady. It's been this way since the end of the season, and I think you have to keep your emotions in check because it seems as though this stuff changes hourly. I personally find it all quite interesting. Eventually, we'll find out the real answer. And don't flame me, I'm just bringing you the messages. We had a positive one from Ian Rappaport, who says that Tua is QB1. And we've got this from Rich Eisen, who says Tom Brady may still be in play. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm sure I know what a lot of you guys think, but this is the news. And it is going to be the news for the foreseeable future until this thing is defined by the team. Talk to you soon. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?